Oh, hey everybody. Yesterday I went and mailed the mannequin and other things back to my house in Suttons Bay, and I mentioned at one point that that was the closest post office to where the Flight 93 crashed. It wasn't, and it doesn't matter because that's not why I went there. I went there because I needed gas, and I thought it was the closest at the time, and I just said that because it's pretty close. And whether it's 5 miles away from the crash site or 2 miles away from the crash site, I don't think it doesn't make a difference. So I'm going down here right now. It's called Shanksville, is the absolute closest place where there's a post office. I think there's 3 post offices within 5-mile radius of where the crash site is. So mine is, I think the place where I shipped the stuff out was the 3rd closest. Again, this is we're splitting hairs here, and it doesn't really matter. But I can tell that some people seem to matter because I went back through the town. There's a sign when you enter the town of wherever I was yesterday, Bauer or Boughton or Bauer, I can't remember the name of it, Bauer something or anyways. So that in that town there's a sign when you get to the edge of town that says Shanksville, and it says Toy. There's another town called Toy something. It's like STOYS. It's a weird name. It's not weird. It's a cool looking name, but it's where I took a picture of all those junked out cars yesterday in the junkyard. I think there's a post office there too. Anyways, there's a sign when you're leaving the town yesterday where I was mailing those packages from, and the signs are on the edge of a parking lot for a grocery store. And yesterday when I went to leave, this car just slammed it in reverse and zoomed right up close and stopped right at the sign. He was in reverse, and he did that because he wanted me. They must have watched my video already on YouTube or something, or on Facebook when I said that live video, and he wanted me to see that this wasn't the closest town to the crash site. You know how people are in small towns. They don't know the reality of what the rest of the world views them as, so they get all flipped out and they think things are a certain way, but they have no clue what they really are. So, to claim you're the closest town to the crash site is something to claim. Now, does it make a difference to me if I ship my packages from that town or not? It makes absolutely no difference at all. It wasn't why I went there to ship the packages. I went there to ship the packages because I almost ran out of gas. I didn't almost run out of gas. It was where I needed to get gas. So I shipped the packages there. There was I was not planning on coming here to ship packages. So you see, all this is irrelevant. But then today when I went through that little town again, because I went to Latrobe to work out in the gym last night, and I came back, a car did the same thing again. As I went through the town, someone must have phoned them up, told them he's coming back again. So someone in the parking lot hit it in reverse again and zipped right up to the sign and stopped for me to see it again. They didn't see it the first time. I saw it the first time, dude. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, dude. So, and then I hear Taylor Swift talk about how one of the things that she misses about being famous is she lost all of her privacy. So that's see, I would. Once you become famous like that and you're a celebrity or star, people know who I am now for whatever reason. You lose your privacy. So everyone views you as something different. For instance, someone last night, and then you don't know who's doing things to be weird because they see you as this thing and not. You just don't even know anymore. For instance, some guy last night in the parking lot at 2 a.m, that this red car kept at Walmart. It seemed like it was always hovering around me. The gym was right near, and then right before I parked to start working a little bit before I went to sleep, it parked, and then it started filling up its tire with air, like he was trying to tell me to check my air pressure on my trailer or something. And And it's just, it's just when everyone sees you as a celebrity, they recognize you, or they know who you are, which is something I've always lived with because I was so tall anyways, and I had an unusual name. So and then I was a basketball star, and then I was an artist. I'm an artist. So it's just, I can handle it, but it's coming to terms and recognizing this. There is no moment where it all of a sudden becomes apparent that this is what's going on. So once you see it, and you start to realize that's what's going on, then you kind of have to deal with it. So now I can see that it's going on, and I'm just mentioning it because this particular instance, when it comes to the 9/11 memorial and me shipping the packages when I did, and then I said it was the closest post office to the 9/11 memorial. At the very least, it's good that I did that because it got people's attention. If it gets people's attention, that's good. So that's at the very least, that's one of the good things that it does, is get people's attention. So that's all I wanted to say. Is that it gets people's attention if I say something that isn't quite true, but what does it really matter if you're 2 miles from the crash site or 5 miles from the crash site? So that's all that I'm saying. What does it really matter? I mean, someone from the town that's 5 miles from the crash site potentially could have gotten there sooner than someone from the 3 miles from the crash site, depending on what the terrain would have been like. So you see what I'm saying?